So Lonzo Ball is now considering working out for the Philadelphia 76ers. A day after he denied wanting to work out for the Boston Celtics. Very interesting to me. Very, very interesting as the draft draws closer. Now, do I think they're going to consider it? His camp? Possibility. But only reason being is probably to make his camp and his draft stock stay the same, so it doesn't look like he's being stubborn and only wanting to work out for one team. That's the only reason I think they're doing it, to make it look like their camp doesn't ruin or tarnish their image at all. Because I think LeVar's done that enough. And to say that you're only willing to work out with one team, it's a little snobbish and a little arrogant to me. It kind of reminds me of the situation when Eli Manning was coming out in the draft in the NFL and he refused to play for the San Diego Chargers. So he decided to come out and say, if you draft me, I'm not going to play for you, I'm going to sit out. And it kind of reminded me of the exact same situation, that if you don't draft me, I'm not going to come play for you. Well, I think it's a little different in the NBA. So I think LeVar's tried to do everything in his power to make sure that LA takes him and no other team does. Even though he's come out and said he's not trying to do that, and he's not just trying to make his son play for the LA Lakers and blah, blah, blah. You can say all you want. We can all see your intentions, LeVar. But say this does happen. Let's put it in this scenario. If he does fall to us at 3, and the Lakers go anybody other than Ball, which I don't think they will, what would happen? What would I do? I would still take him, but I would try to trade him right after we draft him, because he doesn't fit in this system. He's a very ball-dominant point guard. He's a floor general. He doesn't play well off the ball. Him and Ben Simmons together just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think he would fit in the system. He has to have the ball in his hands to create, much like Ben. Now, you can look at it this way and say, well, what if Lonzo plays the point and then you have Ben play the 4? Kind of worries me a little bit, because Ben really doesn't have that much of a post game. So, say this doesn't work out, you're going to be stuck in a situation where two guys need the ball to create in their hands to be effective. And two, also, they don't really shoot well at all either. I mean, Lonzo's got a decent shot, it's just funky, and I think he's going to have to alter it when he gets to the NBA, because it's a little elongated to me. He kind of pulls it down and crosses it over his face when he shoots. I don't think it's going to work in the NBA when you got guys that can jump higher and are taller and are more athletic. So, say we do take him, I would draft him and try to get as many assets out of any team that wants him, because this kid's going to be a game changer. So there's no doubt about that. He just doesn't fit in our system. So draft him. Try to get as much as you can for him, because you could build around this kid. We got a guy you can build around in last year's draft. So it doesn't bode well for us. Move back. Try to get a Monk. Or, there's other point guards I think that would fit in better with us, like a De'Aaron Fox, or, God, I say it, Dennis Smith, even though I don't think... I don't really like Dennis Smith personally. I just don't see it from him, but I think he fits better than Lonzo Ball. So there's that. Now, I think this really makes it look bad for Lonzo after he came out. Not him, it's a lot of his dad doing the talking here, but coming out and say he didn't want to play for Boston. And it just makes so much sense with Lonzo kind of reminding me of Magic, everything that he does, the way he's a floor general. And then you have that whole situation with D'Angelo really spouting off at the mouth too, saying, well, I'm here, what about me? And he's been in trade rumors and trade talks. So it looks like there's a little bit of tarnish out there in La La Land. But, and there's this also factor too, that if we do take Lonzo, that there's the whole dad factor, which I'm not a big fan of LeVar Ball, but should this hurt this kid's draft status? I would hope not. I would hope his talent would overshadow whatever his dad says, but even if he does go out to LA, he's going to be attached to his son's hip through this entire process. It doesn't matter where he goes, he's always going to be in the media for saying whatever. If they start doing bad out there in LA, he's going to do the same thing he did when he was out at UCLA. LeVar Ball isn't going to change. He's not. So let them deal with it. I don't want any of that here. I don't want any cancer like LeVar Ball here. I'm good. I don't want him being turmoil in my organization. We're all about positivity here with the Sixers. We've been through enough turmoil. We don't need any of that anymore. So that's my thoughts on it. we'll see if he comes out and his camp decides to work out for the Sixers. What are your guys' thoughts? Would you take Would you take Lonzo Ball and keep him on the Sixers? Or would you rather have him, trade him off, and see what we can get for him? Do you think he would fit with our team? You think he could work it out some way with him and Ben Simmons? If Ben Simmons can develop a post game, and Lonzo could be better off the ball, maybe be a two guard. I just don't see it. I know he did a little bit out of it at UCLA. I can't see it really converting to the NBA. He just has to have the ball in his hands. I'd rather have a De'Aaron Fox, a Malik Monk. So, it'll be interesting to see. So you guys have any questions? Philly 500, trade him off for assets. I couldn't agree with you more, brother. What that might be, I don't know. Where are we going to move down? You look at the teams that need a point guard. Could the Kings trade up and get Lonzo Ball? God, imagine him on that squad. I'd feel bad for him. I mean, you're still saying in California, it's just not one of the better teams. It's one team that's been in the basement for the past 15 years. They were a great organization. They could trade up for him, or could Orlando even move up to get him? I mean, are they really sold on Elfrid Payton? I don't think they are. I just think they need superstars, and this kid is going to be one. So anytime you can get a game changer, you try to do anything that's possible to get up and get him. So who knows? Maybe they take Shock Jackson. I just think it makes too much sense for the pairing. For the pairing of L.A., he's a hometown kid. He's from Chino Hills. He's from out there in L.A., played for the UCLA Bruins. It just makes too much sense, and he's in the mold of Magic Johnson. So, you guys have any questions for me? Would you want Lonzo Ball on his team? If not, just leave your comments and concerns, and go Sixers.